All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I'm probably the only ham in the country who's not at Hamvention right now. I'm seeing all the pictures on Facebook and Instagram and everything. Yeah, everybody else is there, or at least all the other YouTube creator guys are out there in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, guys. All the way from Idaho. Bob, why haven't you made a video in 2 or 3 weeks now? Well, guys, took a little trip out to California, go visit my kids and my grandkids. We took the grandkids to Disneyland. This, my friends, is a real, genuine lightsaber from the lightsaber factory in Anaheim, California. It is pretty wicked here. Ooh. That's badass. I love this thing. I love this thing, man. This is, man, they ain't cheap. I'll tell you that. You could go see my next 2A News video on the K6UDA Guns and Ham Radio channel over on Rumble. Some of them I may put up here. I don't know. But I won't really promote them over here because Lord knows YouTube is so touchy about things like your constitutional rights. What are we talking about today? Got a few new products that are kind of hitting the market or have hit the market recently. A few minor things. We'll talk about those. What do we got? We got, I can't even really call it viewer mail. I'm going to call it K6UDA stalker mail, because I guess I'm stalking the Facebook groups. Let's see. Couple of new products will be rolling out here and giving just a brief couple of minutes, and we'll see if there's any interest in bigger reviews and that stuff. But we'll talk about that and more this time on K6UDA Radio. Let's do this. Not so much anymore, but every once in a while, I still do get some stuff in the mail, which is pretty cool. I got a package from a company called Xtenna, and they sent me this little portable end-fed antenna with their Pro Pack of antenna wire. What I like about this, it's kind of a nifty, simple little design. Very small, together, wow, less than, I would say much less than 1/4 of a pound. So switchable there with a little switch from 49-to-1, 56-to-1, or 64-to-1. You put your antenna lead in the bottom. You can wind the whole thing up. It's got a BNC on the other side. I'm going to give this one a try, and I'll let you know how I like this. And in the it's not ham radio world, my friends over at Retivus sent me this, some FRS radios to check out. I will do some testing around the K6UDA ranch and kind of let you know. And I get it. It ain't ham radio, but sometimes it's not a ham radio is kind of nice. It would have been really, really nice in Disneyland. It would have been very nice to give Mrs. K6UDA one of these and me keep one of these things, or give them out to the kids and let them talk to each other, talk to us, because Disneyland, they don't like ham radio. So one of those days that I was down there at Disney, tried to walk in with just this little guy, my FT5. And they're like, nope, not coming in with that. So this had to go back over to the hotel room. It wasn't a huge big deal, but you know what? It would have been nice to been able to walk into Disney with one of these. Something like this, yeah, it would have been kind of a no-brainer. Would have had its FRS and NOAA. No more FRS, GMRS, or at least not on this, but super, super easy to use. It would have been, free comms for us had we been able to do that. I think Disney has really no problem with these FRS radios. Kind of the same thing on a cruise ship. If you take the family on a cruise ship, a lot of times they're not going to let you bring your ham radio on the cruise ship with you, but they will let you bring the FRS radios to keep in touch with your family. You could throw this thing in your pocket. And one of the things that I wanted to test out about these is the fact they say they're IP67. So you could pretty much submerge this thing. I could take this thing river rafting or whatever. And if it gets wet, well, it should still work. Stalking much? Category. I was perusing through some of the Facebook groups. One of the groups that I do frequent over there on Facebook is the ham radio group, and you get a lot of questions. You get a lot of infighting stuff. Sometimes you get some of these really, I'll call this one kind of a thoughtful question. And looks like he's a top contributor. This was back a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just getting around to making these videos right now. Why are guys being so stubborn and telling me to study for the general class and not get a Yaesu Fusion talkie like the FT70 DR when I can talk where I want around the world just by entering a code? There's been over 300 comments on this. So this is one of those questions from a newbie that has really struck a nerve. In an emergency, would I rely on things like the Fusion Network, WiresX, D-Star Network, DMR networks? Absolutely not. Not in a freaking minute would I rely on those networks for emergency communications. Does that preclude me from using this or my FTM 400 or whatever in an emergency on System Fusion or on C4FM, D-Star, or DMR? Not at all. Those modes, as long as this radio is working, if this radio gets hit by the EMP, yep, it's done. But we're not here talking about the EMP. We're talking about why are guys being so stubborn and saying to study for the general class. Well, now, Brian, I don't know if guys are being stubborn. They might be. Judging by a few of these comments, a lot of them, surprisingly, are saying, look, dude, you do you. If you want to live in the Fusion world or the HT world, that's all you. Go ahead, have a great time. And I agree. If that's what you want to do, if that's what makes you happy about this hobby, get yourself your FT70 or your FT5, your new Kenwood D75. or an ICOM FT50 or a 52. Go get the radio of your choice and enjoy the hobby. If you want to explore the hobby more than what you can on the Fusion, D-Star, DMR networks, yeah, go ahead, study up, get your general, go out and spend a few bucks and buy yourself a nice new Yaesu or a nice new ICOM HF radio and have a great time. So can you still use this thing in that simplex mode, but using the C4 FM? Absolutely. This is set up right now for simplex use, which means radio to radio, no repeaters, no internet, no nothing required. And two radios would be able to talk to each other in C4 FM, which is actually the mode that this is programmed into right now. So in that catastrophic emergency that a lot of us got into ham radio originally for, these new modes, these digital modes can still be super, super important. If you and them had this radio or something like it, like an FT70, you could both put this frequency in, both put them in C4 FM. Everybody that's listening on their analog Baofeng radio, all they're going to hear when you transmit on C4 FM is this. It'll be a little bit different from just white noise, but the uninitiated won't really know the difference. They'll just hear static. Does it mean that it's totally secure communications? It ain't totally secure communications unless you're playing in the military. There is almost no totally secure communications. All right, my friends, this just a short little stalker mail from Facebook. If you guys have questions, comments, if you want to send me an email with something interesting, an interesting tidbit, maybe we can get on the show. Hey, right down here somewhere, right down there. Yeah, that's the email. If you've got something you want to send me, the P.O. box is right above it. If you want to help out the show, here's different ways you can help out the show. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got this time. Working on videos for this, working on a video for this, and I'll see you next time. I'm Bob, K6UDA. I'm out of here. 7-3.